Hi everybody! We are here again in Trans Gurus. Today we've got a very new theme which is called resolutions. Yes, we are at the beginning of the year, but we don't necessarily want to talk about New Year's resolutions. We want to talk about resolutions in general. So I'm going to be I'm not going to talk for 200 hours, but when I do my resolutions, I've got a very specific way of working. So have any of you heard about mind mapping? Mind mapping is a system where you put your name in the middle and then you put different areas where you want to work and then you put the specific actions. So I always do that mind mapping for me, and believe it or not, in front of my computer on the desktop screen. I've got this mind mapping so I know exactly what I want to do and I want to achieve. And when you want to transgender, when you want to go from one side to another, it's a very big action plan. There are papers that you have to have. You have to go to different medications. You have to go to different surgeries. So I have always done all the actions that you have to do in order to get where I am now. And it's not only the way you appear, it's not only about the day what you're doing, but as well your paperwork, your IDs. There's such a lot of things to do. Anyway, I've gone through all those. Now my resolutions are a little bit different. Now my resolutions is to be more within my community, within my work, within my international being, to get more stabilized. This is now my biggest resolution. To try to find, after the transition, to try to find a better place in life. So this is about my resolution. There's many different details which I probably am going to share probably during the time, but right now I think that that's what I want to tell about resolutions. It's an action plan. There's one thing which is very interesting for all of us, and this is something I've done many years ago. I come from business. I've done many business plans. And some years ago, I was very depressed. And I decided to do a business plan, but this time not for a business, but for myself. And things like putting your questions, how do you want to be remembered when you die? These are very important questions, and that determines the way you want to live. So, any questions, please go ahead and write down.
Resolutions. I kind of think of it a little different as goals. I guess in a way they're the same thing, but resolutions, you're looking for an outcome, and that's the reason we're talking about resolutions. But I kind of feel with goal setting, I know Ella has her type of way of doing it. I do something a whole lot different. I write affirmations. I write a 3-month, a 6-month, a 1-year, and a 5-year goal. And I read that every morning, first thing in the morning, and I read that every night, last thing before I go to bed. I do what they call hyper-cybernetics, I believe is the terminology. Anyway, you close your eyes and you relax yourself and you visualize yourself actually accomplishing whatever it is you're doing. And I've done that 4 or 5 times a day for more years than I can remember, whether I'm going to go talk to somebody, whether I'm going in the grocery store, that I'm going to find whatever it is that I'm looking for. Because a lot of times I go to grocery stores and I get frustrated because it's hard to read all the labels, and then every grocery store is different. But the point that I'm getting at is I stay focused by goals and writing them and reading them. And when you write your goals, you got to understand something. When you write it down, you may look at it and say, that isn't really what I want. What's in your mind and when you put it on paper sometimes can be 2 totally different things. But when you write it down, then you can visualize it. And you have to understand with goals, a month from now my goals might change because I may say I don't want to go that direction. But the key is that if you have them written down and you read them every day, twice a day, and you do your visualization, which most athletes and professional people do, whether they're going to a business meeting or a baseball game or football game, it doesn't really matter. Visualization is real important. And when you're transitioning, there's some pretty hard, rocky roads, and you can allow that negative feedback to destroy you, or if you see yourself overcoming that, you can change your perspective, and instead of being upset, you can say, how can I better myself so this won't happen? And you have to understand with transition, it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. I don't care how much you practice it, how much you do. So with all that said, my resolution or goal or whatever you want, this year I moved into a house and I emptied 2 warehouses, and it was a big ordeal. And to make a long story, I got everything put everywhere. So I want to go through every single drawer, and I want to arrange the kitchen, I want to do the garage, I want to do every bedroom in the house, the bathrooms, and organize everything that I have. Because when I'm in a together environment, it seems mentally I function better. So I can keep the house nice and clean, but what I'm saying is you open the drawers, forget about it. Anyway, my resolution this year, or that I'm going to work on, the big one. Okay, wait, all right, so I almost forgot it, which should be number 1 on the list. But I'm focusing on trying to fix the things in the house and organize with weight on my mind, because if I'm doing all that work, maybe I'll lose some weight.
Hello everyone, my name's Jimmy. I'm on this Trans Guru panel, and I was asked to talk a little bit about resolutions, New Year's resolutions, goals that I have for myself this year, and just goals in general. And in my younger days, I had specific short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals, which I would write down and use spiritual, physical, mental resources to achieve these goals. And where I'm at right now in my life, I use the power of intention to achieve results that I desire. The power of intention is that we use thought to drive events in our life that take us to where we want to go. And it's a more fluid, it's a more harmonious way to live our lives. When we're in flow, when we set a direction for ourselves and we go, it's like a feather in the wind. We trust that the wind will take us where we need to go. This is where I'm at in my life now. Part of this requires what I call trajectory. We set a trajectory for ourselves upward. So as each day passes, we live our life in such a way that every morning we wake up, we're a new and improved version of ourselves, spiritually, mentally, physically, even financially. So we establish a trajectory, realizing that it's the little things that we do in our life time and time again that add up to where we end up. Trajectory, target, and traction. Traction meaning get your feet on the ground, get some momentum behind us so that we can continue our journey even when things become difficult. And that's it. Thank you.
Buddy, I'm Christian, and I'm here to talk about resolutions. My resolution style is a little bit different than everybody else's, which I get it. We're all unique, right? I like to write out everything that I'm going after for my future, and I like to write it out in a story narrative. With my job that I have right now, I'm trying to help people in any capacity that I possibly can, and that's through case management of LGBT individuals and our community, and anybody out there that's watching that has been affected. I did it all for my community, for my brothers and sisters out there, because I came from a place where I didn't have that many resources that could help me get a leg up, to help me take advantage of the things that we have in community already. I want to help people tap into those resources and link them to the right people that are trans competent, that do know your struggle and respect it, and will get you to the next level of your transition or whatever level in life that you're striving to reach. That's my job. That's what I do. That's what I aspire to do every single day through the case management work that I perform with you know who. So when I'm in my job right now, I have a couple resolutions that I'm trying to meet for this new year. And I noticed that I could definitely be a lot more organized. I noticed that I could definitely learn how to get more networks together and combine their efforts so that we can provide more for our community, more services, get you to a higher level and more efficiently. So I'm learning to become a social worker, essentially, and I'm going to school for it. That was one of the ways that I'm going to reach my resolutions of helping people, and I'm learning how to be more organized through books and YouTube videos that I've been looking at so I can better help myself, which in turn will serve everybody else. And another thing that I'm trying to resolve this year is to get my ass in shape because I'm trying to look good for those those babes on the beach, specifically one of them named Nevaeh, but I don't really need to speak much on that. You can see for yourself on her Facebook page. And that's about it. The method of getting there, it's quite simple. I take my journal and I write down everything, and then I review it, and I keep on reviewing it until I build the momentum of that emotion, like as if I have it. And when I can dwell on that emotion, then before I know it, I have it. And then I'm looking in hindsight at, remember when I used to think I couldn't have this or whichever? Well, now I do have it because I put in that energy, that positive energy to manifest it. Thank you for listening.
Rashi in the house. Another trans guru time. Okay, let me tell you. It's about resolutions. Wow. We're a few weeks in January, and you know what's so funny? By now, so many people are like over their resolutions. They've given up. But it's not too late. You can hold on, because the bottom line is you can make a resolution anytime. It doesn't have to be New Year's. For me, I would say that this year my resolution is to touch more people in the world. Yeah. I mean, it's been phenomenal for those of you all who know about me and what I've done. And, my story basically has been global. And because of that, I've heard from so many people around the world. Venezuela, Australia, India, Pakistan. It's amazing. So when 2020 came, I said, okay, what do I want to do for 2020? And the only thing that really made sense to me would be to build upon what I've done. Touch more people in positive ways, of course. And I have to say, you never ask a lady how old she is, but I can't believe I'm here. Like 2020. When I was growing up, Like, if someone said, oh, what would you be doing in 2020? I would probably say, 2020, I won't be here because it seems so far away. And so, I am here. And the bottom line is all we have is the moment. It's now, the eternal now. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow hasn't come. So what am I doing with now? I'm creating what I want. Our thoughts are so powerful. When I tell you every single thing, just about, I would say 80% of the things that I've desired have manifested. They might not manifest when I want them to, though. See, that's the thing. You can say, oh, Gracie loves what I'm saying. I got a kick out of Gracie. That means a lot, okay? But no, what I'm saying is that you can set goals and say, by such and such a date, I want this to happen. I want to fall in love. I want to get that house. I want to buy a new car. I want that new job. All right, it's good to set dates, but my thing is there's a thing called divine timing. And so even though you set the date, if that date comes and it goes and your manifestation hasn't happened yet, do not give up. Because in my life, I have seen that things happen in divine time. And also, they happen in ways you least expect. I thought about things I wanted and I had it in my mind how it was going to come to me. And guess what? A lot of times, it did not come that way. It came in ways that I least expected, So just be open. I think the key is to have focus, know what you want, be specific. It's kind of like when people ask me, where do you live? And I say Hollywood. I joke and I say, I always said I was going to make it to Hollywood. And the universe said, bitch, I'll give you Hollywood. I'll give you Hollywood, Florida. Meaning that I got Hollywood, but I wasn't specific about it, So be specific about what you want. Think about it, the way you want it to look and feel and smell and all of that. And then let it go and let the universe do its magic. And it will manifest in ways that you least expect. Sometimes things have manifested for me and I even forgot. I forgot that I even wanted it. And then after it's happened and some time goes by, I'm like, oh my God, I wanted that. And it happened. So anyway, happy 2020, y'all, and may your dreams come true.